I was so excited about getting this itinerary and then realizing how much work and energy I think you put into this because I got this itinerary within 48 hours. There's no way I could have done this on my own with this much detail. So your expertise really shines through on the itinerary and even just on the interview. And was it, oh, my mom and dad are gonna go check out Asakusa. Super excited. And like it took her a long time to even find out that Asakusa was like the place to go for kimono rentals. And there's places all over Japan, but now she's been getting the word too that, oh yeah, that's the place to go. So I don't know.
Uh, so here's our itinerary. What do you think?
Thank you so much for I'm so excited. I got it within 48 hours like you said and I really love it. So now I want to yeah, maybe we can just go over the itinerary that you created and why you came up with each aspect or I don't know. How should we do this?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do that. So
Well,
uh, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here and first show this part here. So this here is the detailed sheet, and this sheet kind of goes over all of the items that's up here in the visual sheets with additional details. The why I chose it for you is here. So that's going to be on every itinerary that I make. So the why is here, and we can kind of go over that as well too. And then there's some notes here, how to make reservations, some visual cues with some images, just so you can kind of see what it is and it doesn't look like a bunch of words and it's boring. And then obviously we have the times and the dates of when everything is going to be, and then the address for you to get to the place if you're getting lost. And a lot of times I'll also add in the notes here if a place is hard to find, because 99% of the places that I'm going to recommend, I have personally been to. So if I remember that it's hard to find or something, I might add a note here or something that tells you to look out for this specific stain on the wall because it's around that corner, right? But let's go over it. So at the top, I try to space it out where you have time to explore and you're not overwhelmed by activities. So I typically do 3 activities per day. But obviously, depending on the client, if they want additional, I'm happy to figure that out for them. But I think 3 is a solid amount of scheduled activities, which gives you some free time to explore. So Asakusa, again, which is the oldest, most traditional. I don't know if it's the oldest actually, but I know it's the most traditional part of Tokyo, specifically, kind of like being in Kyoto in Tokyo. So just going over it, if you start at 10 a.m., you don't need any reservations to go there. You can walk around and explore. I recommend staying there about 2 hours. And then having a budget of about 2,000 yen is about 13, $14. You should be fine just to buy some basic souvenirs. Obviously, have the budget that you want and spend as much as you want there or as little as you want there. But on average, that's what I would say you would need in Asakusa. Um, but if we go down here, Asakusa here, I have a few places in Asakusa that I recommend. So while you're exploring at Sensoji Temple, you've got the Asakusa Cultural Center, go to the top observation deck. This is a place that I recommend that you try. It's curry pan. I don't know if you've ever had curry pan in Japan before. I think they also have it in the US in some places, but it's delicious. The place is called Tokyo Karipan. You just Google it. And once you're there, it should navigate you there. There's actually 2 locations in Asakusa, so it should be relatively easy to find. But that's kind of the way I design it is to give you freedom to breathe so that you're not like, I got to do this, 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 this. Um, it's a general recommendation based upon what we talked about. So we talked about your mom and the situation that's going on there and how you want to make it a special moment. Your mom's Japanese, but she's never been there before, and I think it would be um, a nice intimate moment for you guys to be in the most traditional part of Japan. I'm sorry, not Japan, the most traditional part of Tokyo. Um, and explore it together according to these recommendations. And you're going to find so many more things in Asakusa than what I recommended here, but this should get you started. We'll go for a couple more. So,
now that you've explained it, now I understand it even better because I didn't go over all the details and I initially sent it to my friend. She loves the pictures. I love the pictures. I got so excited as soon as I started reading this. Asakusa, I was all over it, told my mom about it. She's going off and exploring now this week, and I can't wait to hear back from her because of your recommendation. And then this Dawn Avatar robot, like I don't even know what it is, but I'm already excited. And I think my son and my husband are going to totally love that. Um, and yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And just to mention that, if we go down here, one of the reasons that I recommend it was because it's a great event for the whole family. So Dawn Avatar Robot, it's a great event for the whole family, especially for teenagers. So what it is they actually employ people who are disabled, people who cannot leave their home and work. So these people are in their bed or wherever they are because they can't leave, and they can see you through the robot. You cannot see them, and they are speaking to you and they are serving you. It's a very nice, intimate experience. It is. I did mention down. You'll see that it is prepaid if you have a reservation. I highly recommend having a reservation. I don't. Walking in is going to be virtually impossible. But so when you go on their website that I linked below, it's a prepaid meal, so you'll prepay for everything. I believe this is the price, 4,400 yen, which is about $30, and you get a set list of food that you can choose. So you'll get a menu when you get there. So it's not just like you only have to eat this thing. So you'll get a full menu, but it is an amazing experience, especially for you said you have teenagers who are still developing, still learning about the world. It's a great way to show them empathy, how to be humble, but also just a great way for you to bond as a family and meet someone that you may have never met in their situation in your life. So I highly recommend Dawn Avatar. And again, all of these are just recommendations. This schedule you do not have to follow, but based upon our conversation that we had, I think all of these are going to work very well for your situation.
We can do a short talk on each one of these. And I'm curious, did you travel to each one of these on your own, or did you travel with other people when you went?
It depends. So I've been to so many places in Japan. Most of the times that I'm going to Japan, I'm going there solo, but I've met friends along the way. So when I am there, I'll unite with friends. I have gone with family to Japan. We actually went with my family to Dawn Avatar Robot, and they loved it. We had to reserve two tables. I think they do a maximum of four people per table. So if you have a bigger family than that, you'll have to get more than one table. Yeah, it's amazing. Japan is amazing as a solo traveler or as a group traveler. But I typically travel solo, so that's my experience mainly.
Okay, that's great. That's
So
great.
yeah, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I'll just scan through this. If you have any questions or anything, and wait, we can talk about a specific thing if you want a specific destination.
Oh, the ramen museum.
Okay.
My friend asked about the ramen museum. She's like, "Is this the cup of noodles museum or is this a ramen museum?" And I was like, "I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe there's both." Can you just talk about the ramen museum for a moment?
of course.
And
Yeah. And
is it a cup of noodles museum?
you can ask me questions at any point, with the WhatsApp group. Just ask me.
Uh, Okay.
Anyways, the Ramen Museum and the Cup Noodle Museum are two different places. They're both in Yokohama. So this is a Yokohama day that I planned for you. So if we look down here, this is a Yokohama day. So this is a day trip day that I planned out for you guys, where this is in Tokyo. So you'll see
Okay.
a in blue is where it is. So the Yokohama, the Cup Noodle Museum, I think is more for children, personally. As an adult, you can go there. As teenagers, you can definitely go there, and you'll definitely have fun. But I feel like it's a little bit more for children, where the Ramen Museum is, I believe, better for all ages. So top floor, it's a museum as well as a souvenir shop. You'll go in there, learn the history of ramen. I'm not going to ruin that for you. Then you'll go down into the basement. They have designed the basement to feel like you're in Edo period Japan, and so you've got all the wooden structures, and it feels like you're in just the old Japan. And I say Edo period is how to properly pronounce it. But uh, there are multiple ramen shops that are actually fully functional and operating in the basement. So you can try different types of ramen from each shop, from different parts of Japan. What's cool is you can also get half bowls. So you don't have to get a full bowl. You can just buy a smaller portion. That way you can try multiple shops. I will say this last part, there is like an upper level to the basement. Don't miss that upper level because I almost did the first time I went. Because you're immediately gonna go in and you're gonna see you're gonna be above and you're gonna look down and you're gonna see this beautiful Edo period like alleyway of sorts with all of these ramen shops. You're gonna go straight down there, and actually where you are above, there's actually shops up there too. So don't miss those if you do go.
Thank you. And have you been to the Cup of Noodles Museum?
Unfortunately, I have not been to the
Okay,
Couple
okay.
Museum.
No, that's okay. I was just curious. And I love your description of it. I'm excited to see the Ramen Museum. Mhm.
I do know I've done research on way too many things in Japan, so I can give you information about uh the Yokohama Cup Noodle Museum. I just don't have the personal experience. There's actually, I believe, two. There's one in Osaka and there's one in Yokohama. The one in Yokohama, well, I'm sorry, just the Museum in general, you can customize your own cup of noodle.
Right.
And I think they even print your picture on the whatever picture you want. So if you want to have a family picture on your cup of noodles, you can take one from your camera roll and give it to them and they'll print it on there for you.
Right, right. That's funny. Very cool. No, this is great. Thank you.